Hi, we're on day 16 now. The prompt for today was fear. Um, I kind of, I put this one off. Actually, you'll see later on the other page is done because I put down the background and I couldn't really come up with what I wanted to do, so I just moved on to my next prompt. And then I came back to it because you'll see tomorrow's is already there. Because I kind of had two images in mind. Both included trees, the same sort of format. One was more gray and dark, and the other was a little more like bluish purplish. And I kind of like the purplish. I like this ink, so I decided to use this instead of the real dark. But I still wanted to convey fear, so I did a figure in shadow, kind of thinking that's either you're the person who's in the shadow and you're afraid because you're in a forest, or you're behind the person and you see somebody waiting. So, but I love how it came out because I didn't do any preliminary sketch. It doesn't really look like either one of the photos I was using as sort of a guide. I mean, a little bit, but not really. But anyway, I do like the way it came out. And this ink was another Jane Davenport. I'm pretty sure it's Aphrodite because I've been using that paint a lot, or that ink a lot, because it's sort of blue and purplish together, and those colors just sort of fit my mood when I was doing this. Okay, this is day 17. You already saw a preview of it. I'm using here some masking fluid. I think the name of it is Molotow is the name of the company that makes it. I never used it before. I brand new opened it, so I was not even sure how it was going to work. And I was a little afraid, but you gotta take a chance, right? And it's just a sketchbook, so just jump in and do it. And I just wanted the moon to be very clear because it's a bit hard to sort of do a background around it. This, I just took a pastel pencil and I drew in the little bats. And I was working off a reference picture. But so the bats are pretty similar, but the trees, I didn't like the trees because it was just branches, and it didn't feel right to me. But I did trees on either side, and so here I am trying to make like a lighter shade of black so that you can tell that it's a bat. It does fade once I think once it dries. This fades, so you can barely see it. I had to do a couple of coats of it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe I put black on top of it. Whatever it was, I ended up doing several coats of white on top of the wings. It's a little cartoony, maybe, but, well, it's a bat. They're a little bit scary to draw. I mean, they're cute, but they can be scary looking, too. So, let's see. Yeah, I have a little bit of trouble with trees. I don't know why. They seem to come natural to other people, but I tend to struggle. So I did my best. Okay, here is where I thought the white was a bit too bright, so I did put a darker coat on top of it. Maybe that's what I was thinking. I think I did a couple coats just to tone it down so that it would look like the webbing, but it wasn't, standing out in a cartoonish way. There I'm just erasing the leftover pastel with some water. And using the Snellier ink brushes again for this. Those are just fabulous. I've decided I need to get more of that ink, and I'll make my own brushes with an empty water pen, because they don't come in all the colors of the ink, so I figured I'll just make my own. So let's see. Yeah, putting another coat down. Eventually I'll get it. Just layers and layers and layers usually cures any problem. Okay, so now I started to add some highlight to the trees so it might reflect what the moonlight would be doing. And I think I'm pretty close to being finished. I think I added a couple of more branches, and then I started to work on the moon, which was a little scary at first. I was a little afraid the masking fluid wasn't going to come off, and I was having a tough time with my fingers, so I dug around, I found my eraser, and that worked. It's just a piece of rubber. It's like the bottom of a shoe, and it just peeled it right off, which was good because I was nervous because I've used different masking fluids before this, and I don't often use them. Occasionally use them in watercolor, but I just felt like something different this time. Okay, now we're going to add some color to the moon. Oh, I used orange and yellow because the moon has some sort of, it's not pure color, so I wanted to add some dimension to it, I guess. And looks like it's mostly orange, but it's a dark yellow. Okay, day 18, the prompt was stuck. I originally had the idea of a cat stuck in a tree. Thought I was getting a little cat heavy. I do love cats, so of course they show up in a lot of my paintings. Oh, okay, this is what I was thinking. See that little dark dot? That kind of was the back of the previous painting where the masking fluid did leak through and stained it a bit. I mean, it doesn't make a difference to me, but sometimes it does that. So even on a heavy water paper, it'll leak through sometimes. So, but usually people don't paint on both sides if they're doing a painting for somebody. It's Murphy. Anyway, so the original idea was a cat in a tree, and then I kind of changed my mind and thought a spider web might be kind of cool, sort of Halloween themed. And I just could not find a white pen that worked. I tried my Signo, which is my go-to. I love that Signo pen. It's the paper. It's good with smooth paper, but not with a toothy paper. Then I tried this one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's very liquidy ink, and that showed up and then disappeared. And then I tried it was an acrylic paint pen. I know it's not ink, but I thought I would give it a shot. And then this pen got really messy and started leaving big, thick, messy lines. And then I smudged it. And I was just getting more and more frustrated. And then I tried to paint over the smudge, and that didn't work. And I guess I tried the paint pen before this. But anyway, this is the one I ended up using. I guess it showed up the best. But I did see there's that thick line again. Anyway, so it does get frustrating. Sometimes you just have to go with it. I mean, I couldn't do anything else. I guess I could have done another version of it, but you know what? It's just a sketchbook. That should be my my motto. So I did this little spider web, and I lost the footage of this particular day must have been cursed. Because after that I painted drew a feather. It was a feather stuck in a spider's web, and somehow didn't record it. I did something wrong again. There's some more mess. And then you'll see coming up pretty quick, you'll see the finished product. In the end, I don't think it looked too... I mean, a spider web in itself is never perfect anyway. There's usually things stuck in it anyway. So I'm just going to say it was intentional. It's not supposed to be perfect. So I actually didn't really mind how it came out, but I was a little annoyed by the smudging, because I did what I could to try to cover it up. See, here's some dark ink. So I went over all the lines and tried to cover that up. And then I did an entire sweep. I did the whole thing over with another dark color, and that wasn't helping. So eventually I gave up. That's the motto, kids. Eventually just give up. No, I'm just kidding. Just give into it. Be zen about it. You just have to sometimes live with a mistake. So here's the feather. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you again. Bye-bye.